Welcome to High Format. This is our Pro Series video on Camden coping and column caps. The Camden line is made with our proprietary ultra high performance concrete technology named Texture Mat. This material is extremely resistant to salt and other chemicals and has an almost non-existent wear surface. The Camden coping units can be used as wall coping or stair treads and complements 3 different size column caps. Each element in the Camden collection features matching colors with beautiful rock face edges and lightly textured tops. Before you get started, be sure to have a 2-foot level, landscape adhesive, and plastic or composite shims on hand. Always wear gloves when handling Camden coping and caps, as the edges can be sharp. You may need a concrete cutoff saw to create custom coping lengths. If you need finished ends on your coping, you'll also need to bring a stone chisel and a hand sledge or a block splitter. Camden coping is easy to install and adds a professional finish to a wall or stair tread. Each coping piece is 48 inches long, 12 inches deep, and 2 inches tall, weighing approximately 100 pounds. There are 15 coping pieces on a pallet for a total of 60 linear feet. When installing, first lay out all coping pieces along your wall or stair tread. Camden is easy to trim to length with a concrete cutoff saw. When cutting, be sure to use eye and ear protection as well as a rated mask. Mark your cut with a pencil and straight edge. Score the entire length of your cut line with a 1/4 inch deep run before cutting all the way through. In this scenario, the coping requires a cut and finished end. There are 2 ways to achieve this. If you have a block splitter, you can simply split the coping to the desired length just as you would with a paver. To maintain proper overhang, split the coping to be 1 to 2 inches longer than the end of the wall. If you do not have access to a block splitter, you can achieve the same effect using a stone chisel and a small hand sledge. Mark your end using a straight edge and a pencil. Place the coping on a sturdy surface. Making several light passes, use the chisel and hand sledge to fracture the coping along the break line. Be mindful not to work it too hard too quickly, as overly aggressive chiseling can result in an uneven finished end. Here's a pro tip. If the finished end piece needs to be a very precise length, chisel it to be a little longer than needed. Then trim the opposite end to length with a concrete cutoff saw. Once the coping is split, you will see some white fiber sticking out of the split end. Use a brush with stiff plastic bristles to brush the split end aggressively until the excess fibers are removed. Using water while brushing is also helpful. Be sure to wear gloves and eye protection when brushing away these fibers. Finish by placing your coping atop the wall or stair. If the pieces are uneven from one to the next, shimming may be required to create the most even transition. Place shims under the low spots to bring them even with adjacent coping pieces. Once all the pieces are even across a run, you'll be ready to adhere the coping to the top of the wall. Remove each coping piece individually, being careful not to disturb any shims that may be underneath. Lay 2 3/8 inch beads of quality landscape adhesive along the length of the block. Then put the coping piece back into place. Repeat this with each piece of Camden coping. Once you've set each coping piece, make any final adjustments for alignment, and then you're done. Give the adhesive 24 hours setup time before sitting or walking on your new coping installation. Camden column caps are the perfect top for any pillar. They come in 3 sizes to accommodate most common pillar dimensions, including all high format wall columns. The 3 sizes are 24 inch, 28-inch, and 34-inch square. Each cap is 2 1/4 inches tall, and one pallet contains 6 Camden caps. For installation, build your wall column to the desired height. When you're finished, grab a friend or machine to help you lift the cap into place. When lifting by hand, handle the cap along the outer edge to avoid pinching your fingers between the column and cap. Always wear gloves when handling Camden caps. It's most common to select a cap that is 2 to 4 inches larger than the footprint of your column. This gives your cap a nice looking overhang of 1 to 2 inches on all sides. Once the cap is on top of the column, adjust it so the overhang is equal on all sides. If the cap rocks back and forth or looks uneven, you may need to level and place shims beneath the cap. Camden caps are gently crowned in the center to prevent water from pooling on them. So when you're leveling the cap, you will want to place your level along each outer edge, as opposed to placing it across either diagonal. Place shims beneath the corners of the caps as needed to eliminate rocking and level the cap. If needed, you can adhere the cap to the top of the column with landscape adhesive. However, this is not usually necessary, especially with the larger caps. This concludes our overview of Camden coping and column caps. Thank you for considering high format for your next project. Please contact your local sales representative if you have any additional questions. Thank you and have a great day.